Hello, folks. This is the Summit Staff meeting for the Community Contributor Summit of KubeCon EU. Welcome to everyone. And as a reminder, this meeting is under the Code of Conduct. So just the TLDR is like, be nice to each other. And I think we can start with let me show my screen. Let me share my screen first. Oh, I can't share my screen. Can you make me close, Noah? Okay, nice. Thank you. Where are we? So the first update, and that's going to be a CNCF and plus leads update, it's basically about the social location. We find one candidate close to the convention center. So I put the link into that and also put a preview video. It's like the location is really great. I try to look into place in downtown, but the commute time, either bus or public transportation is going to be more than 30 minutes. So I think we need to I felt like this is a really nice place based on what I see on YouTube. Brian is not in the call, so maybe later she can give more updates if he's capable to join. But yeah, I'm gonna give a +1 on the social location. Any question about that? I will potentially open, if Brian is not joining, I will open a thread by the location on Slack and we can, so we give to basically anyone to talk about that, like in their specific requirement and all those kind of things. I think Brian might know, yeah, Brian will definitely know better about specific requirement or things to basically the social venue will provide to the attendees. But I'm +1 on that.
Let's make it a thread in Slack because there's so many people missing.
Yep. Next is content, skipping CNCF updates.
Yeah, so we are still waiting for the CFPs to close on 14th of February. Apart from which, right now the content team is in sync with all the existing speakers who are not yet approved, neither denied. So we want some amendments in their CFPs. So I am getting a lot of help from some of the chairs and leads and also people from the summit staff who is with me contacting the speakers and having some changes made so that it better aligns with the audience of KCS. So that's what the content team is doing right now. We have one of our shadows have started working on the planning sheet as well. So we are also doing that. And once the schedule and everything is finalized, we will get the draft out. That's all from the content team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions for the rest of the folks?
Yeah, I should actually also attach the stats by now that we had from the previous CFP reviews. So I added it on the Summit Staff channel. I would add it right here. So 1 second.
How many in total? How many CFP in total?
Yeah. So in total, we received 25 CFPs. After reviewing them, we had one for the 90-minute workshop will be approved, 3 to 4 approved for the 25-minute workshop presentations, and 9 approved from the SIG WG sessions. So we were still very less on CFPs, and that was the reason we extended the CFP deadline, which is now 14th of February. Yeah, so that's the count by now. It's 14 CFPs, 13 to 14.
Okay.
Better.
Do we think that's gonna be, we can fit all of this in the room we have currently?
Oh, sorry. Oh, could you?
Do we think basically all of those CFP, all of those approved CFPs will be basically will fit
Yeah.
in the venue?
Okay. Okay, yeah. So these are not really the approved CFPs. They still need the second round of evaluation to be done.
Okay.
But these are the ones that are like, that looks really good to us by now. But we have also received 5 to 6 more CFPs after extending the deadline. So we'll go through them, and then after everything, we'll finalize how much will we be able to accommodate as per the rules that we have. So
Yeah,
that's-
okay. Because I feel like the acceptance will be also defined by basically where we can put all those sessions. I'm not sure we need to basically check between schedule and the number of the room we have, so we sure we don't basically we don't, I would say we don't accept too much.
Okay, yeah.
So check with I think you should check with Mario, because I think he has an in-depth knowledge of the number of room and the configuration to see where we can basically put all those sessions. So where is Noah? Noah, how did you do that in the past? Like trying to figure out.
Okay.
Sorry, I was typing something. What's the question?
So my question is how we guarantee basically we have enough room for all the sessions?
Oh,
let me rephrase. How we basically fit in the schedule, number of room and number of session and number of CFPs.
Realistically, it comes down to what the number of rooms are divided by the number of slots. So in the past, when we've only gotten like 12 CFPs, we just said, oh, well, we'll just accept them all. Not even going to worry about it. But if we have 25 or 30 CFPs by the end, then we actually have to do some acceptance and rejection, because we're going to have to go through and say, okay, we've got the main room has X number of slots after the main session ends at 10:30. That gives us like 7 slots for the day.
Minus the unconference slots.
Well, that's typically we're going to have every room is going to be booked for whatever the main sessions are. Then we got so many slots in the morning until we identify what the unconferences are going to be. We typically identify how many unconferences we have during lunch. Then we have the main room and the workshop room booked for the afternoon. And then the other 2 rooms that we have, one of them is going to be at least all unconference, and one of them may be a mix of unconference and CFP, depending on how many we get. And we don't know how many unconference submissions we're going to get. So if we only get 4 unconference submissions, then blocking both rooms for the afternoon is going to be a really light schedule. But if we have 20, then if it's also booked for those rooms for the afternoon with CFPs, then we have to be a lot more stringent about who gets accepted and who doesn't. Does that cover it?
Yeah, I think for FICA, basically you need to basically know the number of slots available in the schedule, because it's going to be from I would say from 10, because I think in the morning we have the welcome session, we have the steering committee, and based on that, now the rest is going to be, I would say, between 11 and 7 and 5, how many slots you have over X room. Natalie, you have an hand raised.
I do. Is this written down anywhere?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe we can check the handbooks, but I don't think it was written, because it's specific to the venue. That's the problem. It's like it's very specific to the venue. I remember Detroit and Chicago had 2 different basic venues, so it was like kind of tricky to establish that. We can maybe as a retro say yeah, content need to basically reach out to CNCF to basically early,
Well-
based on what CNCF
Well,
provide
I
as a
think-
venue.
I think what I mean is more so the logic that we've just talked about of how we figure out how many get accepted, which should go into what rooms and so on. That doesn't seem like could be an obvious thing to take on as a content lead. And second, I feel like we need to write in that unconference is always part of it too, right? And so that's like another part of the calculation to consider. I just want to kind of, for the retro, we need to write this down, like some kind of how to approach scheduling the content.
Does somebody have the
plus
retro
one
doc
of
open?
that. Yeah.
If somebody's got the retro doc open, let's put it in there right now.
Yeah. I would do that. Mario has the same raise. Nigel, you go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, Mario put in the chat that they'll create a calculation for slots tomorrow. But I think part of the issue, and like a little bit novel, is that the CFP hasn't garnered so many responses. So we essentially did, at least for the times that I've done it, did enough unconference to fill the slots that weren't covered by the submissions that went in. But now, because we have so many submissions going in, it's necessary, like Natalie said, to document some sort of way where we're deciding how much goes where. And yeah, it being dependent on venue is one thing, but I think this time it may also be necessary to work a little backwards from how much unconference we want and then figure out how many sessions to accept from there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that in the retro. I think it's something we need to discuss even for the future, even with the possibility that we're going to be kind of independent. So the way we schedule things will change based on the venue we get. So yeah, I'll put that in the retro. I will go on that. Faika, there's like, sorry if I pronounced wrong. We have basically the meeting again tomorrow. We can spend the meeting on that if you want. Tomorrow 1 p.m. Central Time. So feel free to join and we can talk about that more.
Okay, that should be great. Also, once the CFPs are closed and we go through the final round of evaluation, I also want to set up a meet with some staff, whoever is interested in like doing the final reviews with me of the CFP.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes, Noah.
Just want to say a follow-up on all of that because we need to get it all hashed out. We need to get some of the logic written down, but also some of that comes out of the feedback that we get from the attendees at the end of each show. So if we go through this and we say that we have put a ton of emphasis on the CFPs and not as many on conference, people will come back and say, hey, we wanted more on conference. And if we end up with less CFP submissions and end up filling it with, hey, we put more on conferences in there and then people didn't attend and maybe we get some empty space, then people will say, hey, why didn't we have more CFP submissions? We should have more scheduled content. Like there's a fine balance that's going to happen every year based on what happened that particular year. So we're gonna have to include that in whatever the logic is that gets written down.
So for this year, it seems that we have a 50-50 from one conference to the in-depth technical talks.
Awesome.
Okay, Bob.
Yeah, one at least nice thing with if you have less unconference space, as long as it's not a huge amount of time, people can basically just take over those rooms for less noisy chats, as long as it's like sort of marked as available. People will kind of like hold up wherever they can or hole up wherever they can.
Yeah, I think that this is where I basically want to make sure there's like coordination between operation and content, because once we formalize the schedule, we should basically have it should be for basically operation to basically see which room is available at which time, so they can coordinate occupation if people are willing to basically take a space and talk together. Okay, so AI for me will be the retro docs and put that as a point of discussion for the retro sessions. Anything else before we move to the next topic? Okay, Natalie is not here, so we'll skip communications.
Hello.
Natalie's here.
Oh, sorry, I got confused. Yeah, Natalie is here. I was confused with Kathleen. I'm so sorry. I just say hi. I'm exhausted.
I understand. So update was like, so great to hear, FICA, by the way, that there was some more submissions to the CFP after comms went out and we were extended. That's awesome. I was going to do another social blast today, but having come halfway into this conversation, should I do another social blast for CFPs or do we have enough?
We
This
don't
week-
have enough, I think.
We don't,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have enough?
Yeah, so I would say we only had 4 more submissions, and that too, one of which is that of the AMA that was supposed to happen. So we only have 3 after the from the reference extension. Yeah.
Awesome. Then I will do more social posts today and use the Slack bot as well to push out for CFP. Ray, I know you're on the call. We can like include some registration call out in there as well, because I know we said that we were going to do for Reg, but with CFP being extended, I feel like there's a single message on the comm side in terms of blast could be like really beneficial, and then we can do more on the Reg later in the week as well. Other than that, that's it. I will be, I need to figure out Army time in terms of like how until Reg closes of when I'm going to be doing the next emails about reminding about registration. And in that, I can also include anything else that comes up from the team. So Mario, I know we'll do more like volunteer call outs and that kind of thing. Whatever other people need included, just let me know. Bob.
So like if we don't get a lot from this blast, I'd say do like one more blast, like either the day of that it closes or like the night before it closes, because just like with like KubeCon and other things, people just like last 24 hours, I got to get a CFP in.
Yeah, I think we can utilize email, like let's say tomorrow, the day or the night before, kind of as well as like additional to that, of like a final blast. Hey, remember, get your CFP in, and that's like basically the only message. Like, CF please closing tomorrow. Yo, here's the link. Here's everything you need to know. Please submit. Yep. That's all from me.
Okay. Ops, Mario.
Yeah, we have, thanks to the call outs, now already 8 volunteers signed up through either the form or they directly reached out. As soon as we basically have filled in the staffing, as soon as we have the content plan, when is what going to happen, we can basically start with the staffing. That's it.
Okay. Any question?
Sorry, quick question. Should I add myself to some lists that I've missed, or
Oh, I can
am
add
I
you
okay
there.
as a volunteer?
I will just add you. Really cool.
Okay. Because this was mentioned some weeks ago, but I didn't add myself to any list, so wanted to get that cleared. Thank you.
I will take care of this. Thanks.
Okay. Ray, registrations.
Hey folks, for registrations this week, big thanks to Sujay for reviewing registrations and Savita for reviewing registrations last week. We have a total of 140, 124 non-staff, 16 staff and 6 were not approved because they're not org members. And once the schedule is released, we will be cognizant of the speakers in case they're or if they're not org members. So we will approve the speakers. We'll also go back and review the folks who are not approved if any of those are our speakers as well. That's it for me.
Nice. I saw people about the registration. I saw people register as attendee, but should be registered as staff. I don't exactly know how we deal with this.
Yeah. Well, we've had a few, and we've just I've asked Ben, and I just toggle it in the sheet, or we just toggle it in the sheet.
Okay. I want to mention this because it's like this is the one thing I want to talk about in the next point, basically is swags. So I think Cassie is in the call.
I am.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you. I also posted in the Slack my update, which is that I still haven't gotten that staffing issue created. Sorry about that, but I am planning to do that first thing as soon as I have time today after those first couple of meetings. And then I need to update my shadows on that issue and kind of hounding the SIGs to get people to staff it. And that's kind of our top priority is getting that issue created and making sure that SIGs know about it and are getting folks signed up.
Good. Any question? Okay. Next is me, more like I talked to the vendor about the beret and they basically, so they gave us the procurement for free if we order a minimum of 30 berets. I need to figure out a few things. So I would like to put the order by end of this week. So I urge any SIG and people not registered to register because basically I will build my list based on the registration. So if you are not registered by end of the week, you will not get a customized beret. And please also, I put the link of the document. Please put what you want in the beret. If you can access the spreadsheet, just tag me. I will add you. There's like the second color will be basically the one thing, the pronoun, pseudonym, names you want on the beret. So we need to fill that before, so we can give that to the vendor to order the berets. So please talk to your shadows and make sure you are registered as staff, please, and we can get the order done. Yes, Nathan.
Just confirming that swag is only going to be for people who are on site. Like we're not
There's
making
two
swag
swags.
extra and sending them. Yeah. No, I'm saying like for staff. We're not making staff swag and then sending it if they can't come to the event. I just want to double check what's going on there.
No. That's why I want to build my list. I want to do my list based on the registration list. So
Okay.
I'm assuming anyone registered will be on site. And now we can basically have beret for people, and people come last minute, and we just say, okay, we're gonna keep it and try to send that. But the idea is like we do those beret only for people in person.
Got it. I just want to make sure I know what to communicate to my shadows. So that great. Thanks.
Any question regarding that? Okay, let's restart. I see Brian in the call, so we can restart the meeting. Let's go back. Brian, hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, it has just been one of those mornings of back-to-back meetings, and it's just been crazy. So I don't think Janelle, I think she is still back behind on the other meeting that we were on. But I just wanted to pop on here and give an update. Starting this week, please make sure Janelle is copied on any and all communications. I found out this weekend that my baby will be delivered on Saturday, the 17th. So I am actually going out earlier than expected. But you are in good hands. Janelle will take good care of everybody. My next update is that I have been working with the venue that I had shared with Arnaud and Xander for the celebration. They're working on putting that contract together for us right now. So we will try to get that signed this week, and hopefully all situated before I go out. If not, Janelle will finish up that process. So let's see, swag has been ordered. All of our other items have been ordered. So everything is already on the pallets en route to Paris. So don't add anything to any orders on me because can't promise they're going to get there. Yeah, so I have done training with Janelle to show her how to do the registration updates and everything. So she will take care of that moving forward. I think that's pretty much my big updates. I'm sure everybody has questions, so throw them at me.
My first one is, are you excited? You must be so excited. And then my sorry.
I am excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I really could have used that extra, 4 weeks.
Yeah, I bet. But my other question is, I know we've had in the past, there's been like a business center, FedEx, something for printing and like scanning and laminating like on site. Is there something similar on site for Paris that if we need stuff that we can send to yourself and Janelle to kind of get printed out things on the day?
I don't think there is actually anything in the building that we are located in, but the conference center itself is actually made up of 7 different buildings. So I have a feeling there probably is something in one of the other buildings. I will have to check. We've just been using an offsite vendor for all of our printing needs, and we've been pre-ordering everything. But we usually do make sure we have access to something on site. So let me double check with the team because I'm sure there's something set up.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
I think it's like, do you need to print something or do you need to send something? Or do you want to receive something at the convention center?
It's more so last minute things have always come up, and Brian has been very helpful in like, for example, at Chicago, we didn't have enough volunteers because of how large and how much space we had to actually properly staff the unconference sessions. And so we created and printed out on the day how to be an unconference moderator and put them in all the rooms so that we could at least try and help with some of that. But that was like a last minute thing because we were trying to get volunteers up until the last minute. So there's always going to be something that comes up that might require something like that.
Okay.
And if it is like a situation like that, in our staff office that is on site, we have a printer and access to a printer. So if we need to, we can always send something up to our staff office and print it out. We just don't have like fancy paper or fancy lamination or anything like that, but we can do basic printing.
Yeah, I think basic printing, like literally will all that be needed possibly. So yeah, I think that's great.
Great. Anything else for me? Like I said, I'll be on and off throughout the rest of the week. So if anybody needs anything, please feel free to ping me, ask me questions. But like I said, just make sure Janelle is included on everything because she is officially taking over. So just want to make sure she stays in the loop.
Okay.
And I will send pictures once she's here.
Yes. Okay, anything else before we stop the recording? Going once, going twice, and happy rest of the week.
Bye-bye.